just gonna go straight live here. Alright guys,
All right,
welcome to Sassy time. I'm here with Callum Hulll, and that's one thing I have to ask you, man. I did ask for your YouTube. I think I missed it. What was your YouTube name? Because I've got NA there at the moment, and I feel bad about that.
Oh, okay. It's just straight out Callum Bruce Hulll.
Easy. So for anyone watching, if you want his YouTube, that's it. But welcome, man. Like, it's nice being able to have you on here. Like, for people that might not know, can you tell us like a little bit about yourself?
So basically, I'm a video editor based here in Adelaide. I've done some, like, I've gone through film school, all that sort of stuff. But I guess why you wanted to interview me was because my TikTok account started to blow up a bit and got a bit of traction in the first couple of weeks. I haven't yet posted anything for about probably 2 weeks. Just been busy with my day-to-day job of video editing. But I started filming like 4 years back on YouTube. Like, I started helping other YouTubers out with their prank channels, and I was helping them film. And I started doing some of my own stuff and put them up on YouTube, but they never really got any sort of traction. Plus, I wasn't great with editing or storytelling back then, or video stuff. So I went to film school. And yeah, like, probably would have been 4 or 5 weeks ago, one of the other students, we've all graduated now, but one of the students he was putting stuff up on TikTok and said I needed to put some of my old stuff on. And so I did that. It was like a cucumber video where I pick up this chick with a cucumber.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
So yeah, that's part of like one full length video that I put up on YouTube and got like 420 views in total, and then recut just one scene from the entire video I put up. Just cut the scene with the YouTube and cut that down to be a bit more punchy and be more, TikTok friendly or whatever with the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kicked off. It was I didn't expect it to kick off. Like, for the first 5 hours, I didn't realize that you had to sort of refresh TikTok, and so I only thought I had 10 views on the video.
Shit.
Yeah, and then like 5 hours later, Tommy's calling me up saying my video went viral. I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then yeah, it was at like 14,000 views when I looked at it. Jeez. Like, refreshed, and I was like, yeah. So, and then it just blew up. It went up to like, yeah, it's up 2.6 million views, and I don't know how. Like, I don't know. I think it's easier to get more views on something on TikTok. I don't know how I feel about it, but I've got,
it's one of those
bunch of followers now.
Yeah, and do you feel responsible towards your followers now, or like, like you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, you probably were going into it thinking, I might post this here, this then, but like, now do you feel like you've got like a commitment towards them, or like, I mean, you said it's been a bit since you posted last, so.
Yeah. So in the first couple of weeks, I definitely felt like I was obligated to post up stuff, but I just didn't want to put myself out in the other avenues that I'm sort of chasing at the moment, so I can get TikTok videos up. I didn't want it to impede on me in that way, and just at the moment, I haven't had a chance. I've just started up uni in visual effects and entertainment design, and finished up at my job so that I can go uni full time. So it's just, there's a lot going on. I'm looking at donating a kidney to an old friend of mine. So, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But that's shit gets in the way.
I mean, that's one thing though. Like, you obviously said that you went to film school and all of that sort of stuff. Like, what's your goal with that? Like, is that still going where you want it to go? Are you still like not there yet, or like what's your goal?
100%. I just want to keep getting better at the craft of filmmaking and storytelling. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. And yeah, like, I've made a few short films now. I got a doco two docos that I've made, like they're just short sort of comedic drama stuff, and I want to maybe cut them down into TikTok-sized videos that I can like hopefully get people to come over and watch that sort of stuff, and just get more people to watch the content I'm making, because I feel like it's good storytelling, and I enjoy a kind of vein in the sense that I like people to enjoy my stories.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing, because obviously, like, you know, those are longer compared to TikToks, you know, obviously, like, for you to be able to convey your story, like, you're not going to be able to generally do it in, like, 15, 60 seconds. Like, how do you feel like the transition from, like, a longer film to, like, shorter 15, 60-second videos, like, what do you think the difference is there? Like, do you think you're going to be able to completely get that transition to keep making that content, or do you feel...
Well, it's all a progression.
Yeah.
I think the way it's probably easier to make a good 15-second clip. It's something that keeps someone's attention for 15 to 30 seconds. That's basically where you should be able to start as a filmmaker anyway, is be able to make something that's short, punchy, and sharp, and keep someone's attention. So that's why it's probably TikTok's blowing up for a lot of people as it is because it is sort of the basics of, you know, storytelling is something short, sharp. But then how do you keep someone's attention for, you know, an hour to 2 hour long movie?
Yeah.
And enjoy the whole process and be watching from start to finish and not be distracted by, you know, their Facebook or TikTok or stuff like that. You need to be able to tell. You need to put it all in together. And I think TikTok's just the way, because we're bombarded with so much content now, and you never know what's good enough to watch.
Yeah.
So TikTok, you're sort of building up trust that, hey, I can make something that's 15 seconds and entertaining. And then if you can get more people to look at that, I guess, then you might be able to say, well, I've got longer form formats. You know, I've got a short film that I've made, or, you know, you can try and use that to bridge over to get them to, you know, make that leap. Okay, I trust watching 30 seconds of his stuff that's entertaining. All right, how is he for 5 minutes? You might get that. And then if you can win people over with that, with 5 minutes, and keep building on top of that. That's my thoughts.
I mean, that's one thing though. Like, I've been obviously like looking at a lot of TikTokers. You know, obviously they're trying to funnel people into other platforms like their YouTube, their Instagram. But like, obviously YouTube being the bigger thing, like that's obviously one thing to take into consideration. You know, these people are watching them for their 15, 60-second videos. You know, somewhere in between there. Like, I feel like the transition isn't that easy, because I mean, like, at least most content creators that I've watched on TikTok that are trying to go from TikTok to YouTube, you know, it doesn't seem that they're that successful in getting them over. But like, do you feel like that a bit of that has to do with like these? I mean, it's the younger generation. We have a really short attention span, and that's why TikTok is really good. Like, I feel like maybe that transition's a little bit harder with TikTok. Like, what do you think? Like, people could do?
Well, yeah, it's the next progression up. It's you need to make something that's engaging for longer than that's 15, 30 seconds. And a lot of stuff that I've seen from TikTok is trying to branch over to YouTube and make the longer form content. I don't. It's not work. It's boring. Like I watch YouTube stuff that keeps me engaged for the full, 10 minutes plus. But when I watch stuff from TikTokers coming over, but then it's also, I feel, a lot of YouTubers haven't been able to adapt back down to TikTok.
Yeah.
In that sense, to just make something that's engaging for 15 seconds, because they're so used to making stuff that's takes a little bit longer, or they don't even go through the effort of making it in 1920 by 1080. Like, they don't try and change the aspect ratio. They keep it crop bars, and it's like no one gets on TikTok and enjoys watching that stuff.
Well, I feel like it's because those people, they're already doing their YouTube stuff. They're practically copy and pasting it to TikTok. And, You know, like that's one thing I can appreciate. Like YouTubers that, you know, they've gone to the effort to put their videos onto TikTok in some sort of shorter format. And like they've actually gone to the effort to make it, you know, the size of what a TikTok is meant to be aspect ratio wise. But like the ones where like you've just got these massive black bars, it's like, what's the point? But I get it. They're sort of not that their focus obviously isn't TikTok. Then like they're just like, all right, you know, this is another platform. Let's see if I can funnel more people in. But I feel like that's the thing though. Like with people that are getting big on TikTok and their only relevance has been because of TikTok, I feel like a lot of those people are like, I'd say like the online content creator dream would be to do YouTube, right?
I don't. Yeah, I don't feel like anyone really knows where it's really heading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be going to TikTok. It does feel very similar to when Vine came out.
Yeah.
And Vine was blowing up, and then a lot of when Vine was like crashing and was actually getting deleted, a lot of Viners seemed to be able to make that jump over to YouTube. Maybe that's where a lot of people are thinking, okay, I need to jump over to YouTube as soon as possible. Like if TikTok stays around, and it keeps getting popular and more people use it, and I gather that TikTok won't be stupid in the sense that they'll keep it as 15-second videos. They'll probably work out a way for people to watch longer form stuff 100%. Through TikTok. And then if more people are using TikTok, and that's where the majority of people are spending their time, that will be the platform that you need to be on, and like monetization and adverts and all that sort of stuff that start popping up on TikTok. That's where you start making your money. And I think if you're doing well on TikTok, you should just keep trying to, you know, keep doing well.
Yeah.
Like put your energy into that. Like I could be putting more energy into my TikTok, but I'm not putting it into YouTube. I'm not putting it in Instagram. I'm just actually trying to develop my skills and my craft of actually making stuff that's better than a prank video.
Yeah.
Me walking up to a chick, you know, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's different, but I feel like I can make better content.
Yeah. That's not necessarily like it might be you. Like it's not fully you. It's not like what you really want to do. And I feel like that's one thing is that, you know, people like whatever platform it is, they might do a video that, you know, it's a little bit different, not necessarily them. They're just doing it just to switch it up a bit. And that video might go viral. And then obviously when that goes viral, they're like, all right, this is what's working. And then they'll keep on going along that path of doing content similar to what worked. And then, you know, you get 5-6 months down the track and you're not even doing what you enjoy anymore. You're just making content purely for views, and that's it. And I feel like that's why a lot of content creators burn out. And I feel that's another thing as well, like with how you were saying that, you know, people that are like it's been working for them on TikTok, they should stay to like they should keep on building their TikTok if that's what's been working for them. Like obviously, like if they've tried YouTube and stuff like that in the past, that's obviously not worked for a reason. Obviously TikTok is more tailored towards them, and they should keep on pushing with that. Like, I mean, another thing as well, like you go, sorry.
That doesn't mean they shouldn't try. That doesn't mean they shouldn't try growing on YouTube. Like TikTokers have been growing on YouTube. Probably they don't think it's fast enough, or it's, you know, they're not getting. But it's so hard to grow on YouTube. Like I was on it for a good 4 years and was getting no traction, and then I jumped on TikTok and was getting traction on TikTok, and people were coming over to my YouTube. You know, want to watch my videos. That's still, you know, that's still people coming over to watch the full length stuff. But that was, for me, I haven't touched my YouTube for 4 or 5 years, and all the videos I've put up is my old edit style, and, you know, it was clunky, and it just it wasn't as funny. It was just it wasn't as entertaining per second as what TikTok is.
Yeah. Well, so, I feel like that's,
you know, sorry, go.
Oh no, you go.
Oh, no, that's right. I've already lost train of thought.
Oh no, it's all good. I mean, that's one thing. Like, you know, TikTok. We're talking about TikTok. Like, obviously, you know, you've probably heard the rumors about, you know, TikTok potentially being banned in Australia. I mean, my opinion on that is it's probably not going to happen. But do you have any thoughts on that whole situation?
I don't really care, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it will get. I don't think it will get deleted. I don't see why it
yeah,
would get deleted. Like TikTok is smart; they'll do stuff about it.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like at the end of the day, you know, like with all the data and whatever they take, like at the end of the day, it's probably literally in the terms and conditions that you sign up for. Like,
Yeah, but all the issue is that it's political and it's about America or Western cultures versus China
yeah,
in the terms of super with social media. You know, China didn't want to sit back and go, well, obviously the world is progressing into social media and you need a big social media platform. So why not have their own and control their own? And they're not doing anything that's different from any other social media
yeah,
platform that takes that information, like Google, Facebook. They're basically doing what all the other social media platforms are doing, but it's because it's China
yeah,
and they classify it as stealing information. But when our own government does it,
yeah,
it's
yeah. I mean, like,
yeah, go for it.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like, I feel like, you know, if you're like, even if they ban the app, right? Like, all they're gonna be able to do is ban it from
Yeah.
like the app store. And like, I don't know if you remember back in the day playing Flappy Bird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you remember back in the day when I can't remember why it got banned. I think it like someone like
No,
kill
it didn't get banned.
it got removed from the app
No,
store.
it didn't get. The dude who made it removed it from the app store because he was like, "This was
Oh,
just me messing around, and people
yeah,
are downloading it all." And now it's like, well, this is not. Yeah, it's more popular than I would have liked it. He actually hated the game. He made
yeah,
the game and he hated it. Put it on like the app store as a joke. So he took that down, and people were giving him death threats for even taking it down. They're like, "Put it back on."
yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it is crazy, but like, I mean, like my example of that, I mean, like, you know, obviously got removed from the app store. You know, people still had it on their phones. Like, you know, like with the amount of people that have TikTok, that if it got removed from the app store right now, like, obviously it would stop the growth of it, but like, I don't think it wouldn't kill TikTok. People would still use it, and it would still be as big as it is right now. It just wouldn't be able to grow, and I mean, like at the end of the day, like you're like I think if you're going to download an app, you're accepting to, you know, whatever possibility of your data being taken or whatever. Like you're accepting that when you're downloading the app. Like at the end of the day, like I think that's one big thing. Like, you know, with, you know, all of these apps and stuff that come along and technology developing, there's always terms and conditions to everything. And I feel like especially like my generation, like I think if you I don't know any generation that genuinely sits there and reads every single terms and conditions at all. Like, are you one of those weird people that reads all of the T's and C's, or?
Yeah, that's a good. Like, I wouldn't say I do read most parts of it, but yeah, I understand that most conditions have got to be a certain way and what they've got to fill out,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're using your information to collect data so that they can actually use that data to create money
yeah,
and advertise to the right people and be able to grow their algorithm wouldn't work if they couldn't collect your data.
yeah,
Like their data is to work out what sort of comedy you're into, what sort of person you are, and what you basically all it's trying to do is work out what you're into, so it can show you what you're into.
Yeah, to make a better experience for you, because I mean, like that's one thing. I mean, over time, like, you know, with all these algorithms and stuff, I mean, YouTube, I'd say generally, like, it does suggest content that I like. Generally,
Yeah.
every now and then, you can sort of tell that maybe there is a little bit of an agenda towards some apps in some of the content that they put forward, but like generally, like, it does make the experience better, like 100%. But I mean, that's one thing though. Like, I feel like genuinely, like, my generation especially, like, we go into things blindly and not really think about what we're doing, and who knows what we're actually signing up for at the end of the day. But obviously,
what are you trying to achieve?
what am I trying to achieve? So, I mean, at the moment, obviously, I've been starting to do this podcast a little bit. I want to develop that, similar, like, I'm sure you've watched Joe Rogan before, potentially.
Of course. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely. I mean, like, similar to that, like, I really like the idea of, like, obviously right now we're doing it over the internet, but I like the idea of, in the future to be able to have it in person. Like, get that real interaction with someone, because at the end of the day, like, yes, I might be able to see you, might be able to talk to you. It's not the same as if you're right here, over there, sort of thing. Like, I think, I just love the way that he's able to get anyone on. I couldn't care less about the other person, but like, the way he gets information out of people and the way he communicates is so beautiful. And I mean, obviously, I like the idea of, like, not being famous. I mean, being famous is good. I like the idea of that, but I like the idea of being able to talk to people that most people wouldn't be able to, and they're talking to me just as if I was just, like, I don't know, like, they respect me as much as I respect them. I just like the idea of being able to talk to people, like Elon Musk, potentially like Dennis McKenna, all of those sorts of people. Other than that, I mean,
what are you doing outside of the podcast?
outside.
What do you build your podcast?
Sorry.
What are you doing to build your sort of, like, because I wouldn't classify Joe Rogan as he became famous because of the podcast.
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
he became famous because he was
already famous.
MMA commentator and then comedy as well.
He started off doing comedy.
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's a good point, actually. Like, I mean, honestly, outside of this, like, I have been doing YouTube. I haven't been doing it as much as I used to, so I'm gonna start getting back into that, getting the swing of things. I used to make, like, skit videos and stuff like that. I don't know if you're familiar with Fairbairn Films.
Oh yeah, yep. I went to film school with him.
Actual, like, which one? Jackson or Lachlan?
Maps. With Lachlan, the old one.
Yeah. Like, I made one video of Jackson, so that was cool. Like, that's probably, like, my highlight, I guess. But I want to get back into those sort of skit videos. Obviously, I want to flirt with TikTok a bit more. Like, I don't want to be, like, full on committed to TikTok because it's not me. But I want to use it as a funnel. Because I think that's what it can be useful for. And then, other than that, I mean, honestly, like, I'm just taking life as it goes. Trying to start going to gym, whatever. But to build the podcast, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think at the moment, just trying to live life, experience life, because I feel like, going through life, doing different things, I'm going to build more connections. And at the end of the day, a podcast, like, the people that I can get on it it's mainly got to do with my connections. And if I can build up those connections, then I feel like that's the main thing. And, obviously, and anything else that I guess has to do with growing a channel, like working out, like, obviously I'm willing to talk to a broader spectrum of people, but generally I have to try and find a type of person that I'm going to be talking to at least develop that initial audience, you know, get that started. That reminds me, like what I'll do as well is, like, you know, make highlights and stuff of the podcast. So obviously making it a little bit shorter, more consumable for people, because obviously, like, if I'm like, after this, you know, everyone come check out this podcast, they're not going to be necessarily willing to watch the whole thing, because they've got no idea who I am. They've probably got more idea of who you are, and, you know, it's obviously harder to consume something that, like, that's one thing I think with Joe Rogan, is that I've always got
you look at Joe Rogan, his reason to be able to communicate so well with people is because he's got other avenues that he needs to communicate with people. Like through comedy, in a commentator, he's developing that skill to communicate effectively. Like I'm pursuing other avenues at the moment, rather than just filmmaking. I'm doing like comedy, stand up. I do improv, just making films. Making a doco, like trying to make docos and that sort of stuff. It's just it just sort of helps improve your communications with other people, and like even doing an acting class does kind of help. You can communicate back and forth. Like for me, I don't want to point anything out, but I noticed that you use a lot of words where you repeat yourself.
Yeah,
you sort of like you'll say it and I'll pick up on it.
It's one of those things. Yeah, like, it's one of those things that, like, people, for example, that get into, like, freestyling, like, rap sort of thing, they'll always be going back to phrases that they're comfortable with. Like, for example, like, I used to cast CSGO, like, if you're familiar with Esports at all. Counter-Strike.
To a point.
Like, you might remember Half-Life, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, I used to commentate CSGO, and, like, one major thing is, like, you always go back to phrases that you're comfortable with, and, like, I do it now, and, like, this whole time, like, in my head, like, I'm still noticing it. Like, I can't remember what's the words for this. It's competent, like, subconscious incompetence, like subconscious incompetence, and then conscious incompetence, and then conscious, like, I don't remember the whole thing, but, like, that sort of thing.
Conscious competence, and then it's subconscious competence.
Yeah, because
where it's just where you can do it naturally without but you say some of the rappers go back to phrases, but the better rappers are the ones that have a massive vocabulary and don't go back to the same patterns or use the same phases and all that sort of stuff over and over again. And that's why good commentators, because if you're constantly hearing something that's repeated, it loses its punch.
Yeah, it loses its punch, and it also, like, it shows that, like, the person, like, is obviously not experienced. Like, that's one thing. Like, most of my working life, I've been doing sales as well. Like, I haven't done it that much, but that's another thing as well. Like, you know, when I'm at a door, it's a little bit different, because obviously I'm probably never going to talk to this person again. They don't know the conversation I've had with the first person. But, like, obviously, like, that's a slower example of being able to develop
that's a good point. I worked in Coles retail for 7+ years serving customers, and you do end up just like saying the same repetitive thing over to every customer because it's just easy.
You turn into a robot.
But but that's why I got out of retail, and it's annoying. Anyway, dude, I don't know if you wanted to talk about much more, but I needed to call my dad. I need to Skype with him.
That's so good.
Cool if finish it there? Sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Like, honestly, like, we had delays, we had all of this, like, honestly, it's all good. You know, we had a lot of problems that, you know, I honestly thought, like, at that point, it was just gonna all fall apart, but we got through it. But it was nice talking to you, man, and you take it easy. Yeah,
you too, man. Like, keep grinding. I hope that you're able to get the podcast, you know, live and actually start interviewing people. And, you know, all I would say is that you can build your podcast by learning other skills and keep building on that craft through other avenues. Like, you know, you think, oh, it's so hard to get someone onto a podcast. but you could be out there learning comedy stand-up, or you could be writing stuff, or you could just be
100%.
practicing interviewing people on the streets,
100%.
just to develop that skill as a craft. You need to put that 10,000 hours in. And if you're only getting it once a month or once, a week, you're interviewing someone, it's like, it's not a craft.
There's like, cause with what you're saying there, like, obviously, like, I'm not going to be able to, like, necessarily podcast the people I want to all the time. So 100%, like, there's other ways to improve at what you want to do. And, like, I'd say generally, like, with a lot of, like, interviewing people, like, if you're doing anything that, like, involves talking to people, like, generally, like, actually getting out there and living life really helps. And, like, this is, like, I'm only starting to experience this. So this is for anyone else. Like, genuinely, like, if you don't know what you're doing in life, like, just in general, just go out and actually experience it. Like, that's one thing. Like, I spent so long not experiencing life and not doing anything about it.
Oh, my dad's giving me a call, man. I've got to go, but great catching up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Easy, man. So, we done. I don't know why it does that, but yeah. Thanks for coming, guys, and we'll see you next time.